Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to why UPN's Black Sitcoms ended. This is by Comedy Hype. Now, we already went over UPN, the channel, how it started, what was its downfall, why did it change, what happened to it. Like, yo. So we know that story already. Basically, for those of y'all that don't know or didn't watch that video, basically we went through UPN's entire fucking history as a channel. And let's just say they had their ups and they had way more downs than they had ups. They weren't making no profits or nothing. And that's really why they ended. Really, they weren't making no money and they weren't making no profits. But they gave us some great memorable shows such as Malcolm and Eddie, Moesha, The Parkers, One on One, All of Us, Girlfriends. For all the women out there, I did not watch that show. That's not my show at all. I would never watch Girlfriends. That's not a show for me. And then Everybody Hates Chris, which sadly ended up on the CW afterwards. But oh yeah, America's Next Top Model, fucking WWE Smack. Oh man, I can't even explain motherfucking WWE SmackDown. Psh, what are we talking about here? But why did their black sitcoms end? That's a good question. Why did all the black sitcoms end so abruptly? Because remember, the only one that survived was Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody Hates Chris is the only show that survived. It went on to complete its series. Well, there were others like the Parkers. They got to complete their series, but for the most part, a lot of UPN shows got canceled. Only two survived. Only two survived. Okay, remember that. Only two survived. The Parkers and Everybody Hates Chris. Those are the only two that survived. Everybody else got canceled. One on One got canceled. Moesha got canceled. This nigga got kidnapped and we never found out. We never found out. This nigga just been missing, bro. This nigga just been missing for about a good 20 years now. This nigga has been missing for 20 years now. What the fuck? This nigga been missing for 20 years. All of Us ended. What else? All of Us got canceled. Eve got canceled, even though that show was mid. So that show was bound to get canceled. The spinoff of One on One, Cuts, that show's fucking garbage. Girlfriends got canceled. I think Half and Half got canceled too, didn't it? Didn't Half and Half get canceled? Or did they? No, I think Half and Half finished off his series. I think Half and Half finished off the series, so it might have been 3 shows. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, a lot of the black sitcoms got canceled, bro. Malcolm and Eddie got canceled, but that was due to in-house issues between Malcolm. I forget his last name. And Eddie Griffin, they had some internal issues between themselves, so that's why that show ended. Yeah, there was a lot of reasons. It's a lot of shows that just got abruptly canceled. And like I said, I think possibly 3 shows only ended off their series correctly, which would be the Parkers. I think Half and Half ended their series off. And Everybody Hate Chris survived the fucking Everybody Hate Chris survived when UPN pretty much said, "Fuck it, we done. We're no longer US. We're no longer UPN." So when UPN pretty much ended, Chris, Everybody Hate Chris survived that, and then just went to the CW and finished off its series there. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Throughout history, arts and entertainment have been used as a way to express ourselves, tell stories, give us relief from oppression, and as an escape from the harsh reality of daily struggles. As history started to repeat itself in the early 1920s, a distraction was needed, and we got the Harlem Renaissance, which became a social and artistic explosion and a mecca for black culture. The Harlem Renaissance is widely considered as the golden age for African American culture, showcasing literature, music, art, and live performances. The Harlem Renaissance was a rebirth of black excellence. Similar to the Harlem Renaissance, black sitcoms had also seen a rebirth after what seemed like an eternity with an absence of black faces on TV screens. In the 70s, we had Sanford and Son, Good Times, and The Jeffersons.
Yes, sir.
In the 80s, we had The Cosby Show, and in the 90s, we had Fresh Prince, Martin, A Different World, and Family Matters. TV executives noticed that these shows were not only enjoyed by blacks,
we need to do some Different World too on my second channel.
Anyone. Despite the success that these shows had, seeing a black lead on screen was still a rarity. It wasn't until the introduction of the UPN and the WB network where we got to see another renaissance of black sitcoms on television. But just as surprisingly it came, the network and its black sitcoms disappeared. Here's why UPN and its black sitcoms came to an end. Before UPN and the WB launched, Fox was a network that saw the trend of successful black sitcoms and capitalized on it with shows like In Living Color, Martin, Living Single, Rock, and The Sinbad Show. The shows on Fox were unapologetically black. Martin was a black show. The Cosby Show, on the other hand, was a family that just happened to be black. It may come as a surprise to many, but UPN wasn't the first network to implement shows with predominantly black casts. The WB had made it a priority. After Fox had canceled all of its black-led sitcoms in the late 90s, most of the network's executives jumped ship to a new upcoming network, the WB, where they would try to appeal to black viewers. The first show to debut on the WB was The Wayans Brothers, and it set the tone for what the network was trying to be. The show was a breakout success and immediately renewed for a second season. Following The Wayans Brothers, the WB premiered Robin Townsend's The Parenthood, and later picked up Sister Sister, which was canceled by ABC. In August of 1996, we would then get sitcoms starring Steve Harvey and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Both Harvey and Fox began making names for themselves in their respective markets. Harvey coming off of his stint as the host of Showtime at the Apollo, and Fox was then known as a comedic actor who got a start on In Living Color. In less than 2 years, the WB had cemented itself in becoming the go-to place for black entertainment. However, this formula wouldn't last long.
I forgot about the Hughes
decided to expand by adding several shows that would cater to white teenagers. Shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dawson's Creek, Charm, and Seventh Heaven would become super popular and prove to be more profitable. These teen dramas are what became priority for the network, shifting its focus from black audiences to white ones. Around the same time, UPN took the WB's formula and started to focus on black audiences. UPN was launched in January of 1995, and one of the first shows to debut on the network was Moesha, starring Brandy Norwood. Moesha was originally ordered as a pilot for CBS's 1995 to 1996 television season, but was passed on by the network. So UPN took the opportunity and picked it up as a mid-season replacement. Moesha not only went on to become the biggest success at the time for UPN, lasting 6 seasons, but the series also paved the way for its spin-offs. Moesha was the first hit for UPN, averaging 3.5 million viewers per episode. The series would achieve a ratings high of 4 million a week by its 3rd season. The show was an undeniable success for the network. They ordered a spin-off series following one of its supporting characters, Kim Parker, played by Countess Vaughn. The spin-off would be called The Parkers, and Vaughn would be joined by comedian Monique in his starring role. The Parkers would be another hit for UPN, as its first season would average about 2.6 million a week. By the time the series ended in 2004, its audience had grown to 3.3 million viewers. In addition to Moesha and the Parkers, UPN had comedies like In the House, Malcolm and Eddie, and the Hughleys to complete their lineup. Familiar names like LL Cool J, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Eddie Griffin, and D.L. Hughley helped sell those shows. UPN had become a savior for some shows that were canceled by major networks. In the House originally aired on NBC for its first 2 seasons. After low ratings, the network picked it up, where they aired an additional 2 seasons. The same thing happened with the Hughleys after being canceled by ABC after its 2nd season. UPN stepped in and hosted another 2 seasons before it was canceled again.
Damn.
UPN had become known as the Black Network. From one perspective, it appeared that UPN found its audience. Their Monday night lineup, showcasing a night of black sitcoms, would forever be remembered.
No, they didn't. They was not trying to stick around with the black audience. If you watch that video where we went over the whole history of UPN, they were trying to find white shows to hit. They were trying to look for their Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. They were trying to look for their Sabrina the Teenage Witch. They had opportunities though, but they fucked it up. They had opportunities at Malcolm in the Middle, American Idol. The only one they got right was America's Next Top Model. That was the only one they got right. But they had three fucking bangers, bro. They passed on Malcolm in the Middle and American Idol. They went, remember, and understand, they went to UPN first. They didn't go to Fox. They went to UPN first. And then Fox just said, yo, that Malcolm in the Middle shit, pick that up. And then nobody didn't want American Idol. But then Fox was like, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. That might be something good. You know what I'm saying? So that, I hate to say it, but they were really trying to find a white show. Because once they had a white show that can venture out into the masses, they would have immediately canceled all them black shows. But they had to stick with the black shows because that's what was hitting at the time. And then they had WWE, which was pretty much helping them out for the most part. For the most part, they had no choice. WWE was the best thing they had going for them, really. When they was trying to integrate their white audience. But outside of that, no, they were trying to venture out, but they couldn't break the mold because they couldn't come up with any good concepts. So they just stuck with what they had.
But a look inside the UPN offices tells a different story. Within 2 years of UPN's launch, Paramount and Viacom bought a 50% stake into UPN from Chris Kraft Television in a deal that was worth around $160 million.
Yep. Then the
According
merger
to the New Yorker, as a result,
and the problem with the merger, it wouldn't have been a bad idea had the owner. It wouldn't have been a bad idea if the people, if the higher ups could get along with each other. The higher ups didn't get along with each other, so there was a merger between CBS and Viacom. Viacom owned Paramount, so CBS, Viacom came together as one. So that way CBS was integrated with Nickelodeon and MTV and VH1 and all that shit. So they was all integrated under one umbrella, and the higher ups just couldn't seem to get along. They hated each other. Yeah, that's what it was. And it was one guy who couldn't get his head out of his ass. There was one guy who couldn't get his head out of his ass because there was one guy who couldn't. There was one guy who saw the future, and he knew how to move. He knew all the right things to do. But then there was another guy that was like, well, if it's still making us okay. So for instance, the Viacom people, they own Blockbuster. And the CBS people was looking at it like, yo, Blockbuster is a major thing. Let's keep that, because let's keep that. Like, yo, that's a valuable thing. We making money off that. Why are you trying to get rid of it and sell it off to shareholders and stuff like that? Because the owner of Viacom, he already saw the writing on the wall. He was ready to move on from that. He was like, fuck that Blockbuster shit. Let's sell that, make some profit off of that, and let's keep it moving. But the CBS nigga was like, nah, fuck that. Let's keep Blockbuster. And then everybody was like, yeah, let's keep Blockbuster. We're making so much money off of it. And as the years went on, decline. And where's Blockbuster now? Gone. Exactly. So yeah, it was just too much going on in UPN up at Viacom and CBS. It was too much inner turmoil between higher ups that were working there.
Out of the lack of viewership, UPN started to lose money and reportedly lost around $800 million by the year 2000.
And that was another thing too. UPN made no profits. None. They were always in the negative. So I guess there is a reason why you don't have just pure black sitcoms on your channel, because you may not be tapping out into another audience, which is understandable from a money perspective, from a business perspective, which is why a show like Friends could come along and save you. But like I said, at the same time, UPN had opportunities they just missed. If they would have had Malcolm in the Middle and American Idol along with WWE, UPN would probably still be here right now. But UPN fucked that up for themselves. You passed on American Idol and then you passed on Malcolm in the Middle. They came to you first and you fucked that up. That's on American Idol.
5 years after its
UPN
launch. Why was UPN losing money? How was this even possible? Simple. There was no consistency when it came to UPN's audience. A 2003 Deseret article would point out UPN's programming model would be a reason why the network was. Another
reason too is because of Vince McMahon as well. Y'all have to remember Vince McMahon did start the XFL. We have to remember that shit happened, and let's just say the XFL costs UPN a lot of fucking money. Yeah, Vince McMahon cost UPN so much fucking money. Yeah, so Vince McMahon has a play in this as well, sadly.
Wasn't holding on to viewers. The article states, UPN is focusing on attracting viewers ages 18 to 34, and they're very proud of the minority audience that watches the network's programming. But among the network's struggles is the fact that it has a very little audience flow from one night to the next.
Yeah, that was another thing too. It was very inconsistent because they were throwing shit out the wall to see what stuck. And whatever stuck got moved to like a primetime day for UPN. So like a Monday, that was primetime shit. Now, obviously, Thursdays and then eventually Fridays, SmackDown owned them days. So whatever day SmackDown was on. Because realistically, a lot of the shows used to come out on a Friday on UPN. I remember a lot of new episodes would come out on a Friday, but then when SmackDown said we moving to Fridays, everything had to come out on a Thursday instead. So, and then the schedule just flipped upside. Like I said, Vince McMahon played a role in UPN's downfall as well. So let's not get that twisted. Vince McMahon did play a role in UPN's downfall.
The fact that UPN has 5 different audiences on 5 different nights. Viewers who watch the black sitcoms on Mondays don't watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Tuesdays, who don't watch Enterprise on Wednesdays, who don't watch WWE Wrestling on Thursdays, who don't watch the UPN movie on Fridays.
Oh yeah, they did put movies up on Fridays too. I do remember. They used to have movies for the weekend. I remember, bro. They used to have Boys in the Hood. Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in South Central. Don't be a menace. House Party. They used to have so many classics. Ooh. Shout out to UPN, bro. They used to hold it down, bro. They used to hold it down, you know what I said. They used to hold it down. Hold it down and all. You know what I said? They used to hold it down. On some real nigga shit, though. Yeah, fuck you mean. But yeah, man, like yeah, man, UPN used to hold it down, especially on weekends, bro. They used to hold it down, nigga. They had the Martin, the Fresh Prince reruns. Nigga, you'd be watching Martin all day. Then you'd be watching. No, Saturdays was lit because you had the Fox Kids, then the Fox Box, then 4Kids. Then after that, it's Martin, Fresh Prince. Then they playing fire ass movies and stuff like that. Then you probably get some music videos. They used to have a music video block. I don't know if it was in y'all states or not, but in my state, when I was living up north, we used to get like a 2-hour music block of just all the hottest music videos. So we listened to motherfucking Chingy, Lil Wayne, Ludacris, Nelly, 50 Cent, everybody, bro. Y'all just don't understand, bro. Them times UPN used to be lit, bro. If you didn't have cable, UPN was like your BET. I always say this. UPN was the poor man's BET. If you couldn't afford cable, you had UPN. All you needed was an antenna. Antenna back then was a number like $3, bro.
While many at home loved the black sitcoms on Monday nights, the network behind the scenes was losing money. Going into the 2000s, UPN welcomed shows like Girlfriends, One-on-One, Half and Half, All of Us, and Eve. Shows that would resonate with a black audience.
Eve was mid. Out of all of them, Eve was mid. I did not watch this show. I'm not a woman, so I can't relate to this show. This wasn't for me. Only thing I will say is this. Her right here, these big ass titties, yo. She could get it any day of the week. All this chocolate right here. The big ass titties. And her ass fat. Nigga, I'm telling you right now. A baby girl right here could get it. I swear. If it was a beautiful woman, it was her. I loved her more than anybody. She was my crush and I didn't tell nobody about it. I was a little nigga, bro. I used to have fantasies about her, man. I used to pretend like that was my girlfriend for real. My girlfriend. I'm telling you, cuz right here, she could get it. She was definitely a close second, though. Tracy Ellis Ross, I mean, she's too skinny for me around this time. But nowadays, Tracy Ellis Ross now, I mean, minus, the cockeyed situation, she got a lazy eye. She got lazy eye, but it's alright, though. I could look past that. You know what I'm saying? She could look past it, too. Hey yo. Emotional damage. Hey yo, what the fuck? I ain't gonna lie though. Tracy Ellis Ross now, she could definitely get it, bro. Titties out, ass fat than a motherfucker. Like, yo, y'all seen her, bro? She got some thighs, bro, on her now, bro. Be all up in there, bro, like it's nothing, bro. Y'all tripping, bro. Like, but then you had the Parkers. The Parkers was cool. You just had to actually watch the show. Cause I didn't watch the show. I just thought it was an annoying show. I just thought it was about some ratchet ass big women. But it turns out it was actually a really funny and good show. And then you had one-on-one. That was my one-on-one. To this day, nigga. To this day. Kyra Pratt was always my secret girlfriend. She wasn't my real girlfriend, but that was like, I just felt like that was my secret girlfriend that I had. You know what I'm saying? I had a bunch of crushes, bro, back then, bro. I was active, bro. Y'all gotta understand, bro. I was 5 years old eating pussy, bro. Y'all gotta understand. I was 5 years old eating pussy, man. I hopped off the porch really early, bro. Y'all gotta understand, bro. I hopped off the porch pretty fucking early, bro. Y'all don't understand, bro. I was a nigga you wasn't supposed to leave around your female cousins or your sister, bro. You was never supposed to leave me around them because I was gonna fuck around and do something. I was gonna fuck around and do something, make them love me in the mom. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was that type of nigga. I was the type of nigga you do not leave me around your sister, bro. You do not want to do that. Especially if your sister older, bro. Oh, I can't tell you about them older. I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track here. I'm getting off track. You're getting off track here. We're getting off track here, sir. Going a little too deep now. No need to hear about your sex escapades. Plus, you were a minor. You shouldn't be bragging about that. You were a minor, sir. I'll get more pussy than you. Emotional damage. That's sad. I was getting more pussy than a lot of you niggas getting right now. Yeah. But nah, half and half. Yeah, they had a bunch of good shows. Then they struck gold with America's Next Top Model. That was the one they struck gold with. And that's really what was keeping them afloat was America's Next Top Model. And WWE. Really, if we being honest. Like I said, Vince McMahon played a heavy role in UPN's downfall, though. Most definitely he did. And UPN did it themselves because they kept throwing shit at the wall and it didn't stick. They had dumbass reality TV shows. They had some of the dumbest reality TV shows ideas. I remember they had one with TLC at one point. Didn't they? They were trying to find a third member of TLC. They was trying to replace Left Eye and shit. And then the fans was looking at that shit like, yo, you could never replace Left Eye. And so they never even... So the girl that won didn't even get a chance to really break out. Like, yo, like... They did that whole fucking reality. They did that whole fucking contest for no reason. Then they had us waste. They wasted all of our time just to be like, yeah, we not gonna allow that. Left Eye is gonna always be the third member of the group. The fuck did you do the reality TV show for then? What the fuck was that? You stupid. Like I'm saying though, bro, like why would y'all do that? And then I don't even they had some terrible show ideas. Then they tried to find something to just they couldn't find nothing that could stick. They had some very terrible shows, bro. Other than them picking up shows, which was the best thing they could have did, was just pick up shows that got canceled. Like I'm surprised they didn't pick up they had one good show. It was a cartoon show, but it was Dilbert. They had Dilbert. That was a pretty good show, but they didn't stick around with it. I think they had the Jim Carrey show too at the time. I don't know if that was them or WB. I think it was UPN that had the Jim Carrey show, the Drew Carey show, not the Jim Carrey. I said Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey never had a TV show, unless you talk about In Living Color. But other than that, he never had a TV show. But Drew Carey show, I think UPN had that, if I'm not mistaken. It was either UPN or WB, but I think it was UPN that had the Drew Carey show, which was really wasn't the best show, but it's alright. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have that many good shows, bro. They like I said, and then the good shows that they could have had, they passed up on the opportunities. And then the best thing they could do was just buy out shows. So if y'all don't know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was owned by Fox. It was on the Warner Brothers channel, but it was owned by Fox. And this is because Fox couldn't put it on their platform because they had too many shows as at the time. They was trying to get Buffy the Vampire Slayer out. That and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So they shipped it to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers said, we'll take good care of it. But then when the contract was up for it, Fox was like, yo, we want to renegotiate, but we gonna have to up the we ready to renegotiate, but the terms gonna be a little different. And WB was like, nah, we ain't finna do all that. I was like, oh, y'all ain't finna do that? Word, y'all ain't finna do that? So what ended up happening was Chris Kraft, the people who got bought out by Viacom and CBS when they merged, the Chris Kraft sold their they remember Chris Kraft had all the TV networks. So all those TV networks that UPN was owned by Chris Kraft. And what did they do? They ended up selling them to Fox when they got bought out. So they said, before we get bought out, we're going to sell our shit to Fox. So Fox had leverage. They could just throw any show they wanted on UPN. That's why a lot of shows like The Simpsons, That 70s Show, Frasier, all them shows started becoming reruns on UPN. Martin, Fresh Prince got thrown on there. Yeah, so many shows got thrown on UPN because Fox pretty much had control of the channel. Chris Kraft sold they stake, and Fox pretty much owned the channels that you're on. So, for instance, like in my state, UPN used to be on channel 24. So, in y'all state, UPN was probably on channel 13, channel 12, channel 7, channel 6, channel 4, channel 8, depending on where you was living at. That was a Fox-owned channel. It was owned by Chris Kraft, and then it became a Fox channel. They sold the rights to Fox. Fox said, we'll take it from here. And that was that. And Fox pretty much was like, yo, we could just move this over here and we ain't even got to really go over anything. And UPN was glad to take that shit. So that's how Buffy the Vampire Slayer ended up over on UPN. For those of y'all that don't know. But yeah, like I said, the best thing UPN could do around that time was just buy shows that was either about to get canceled or needed a new place or needed a new channel to broadcast. So yeah, that was the best thing UPN could do at that time. They couldn't come up with nothing good because nothing stuck.
Friends were going to become the network's longest running sitcom, lasting 6 seasons and 137 episodes.
And they got canceled
before moving to the CW, where it ran for another 2 years. The ratings for these sitcoms did well for UPN, but they still paled in comparison when it came to sitcoms on the major networks. Despite the launch of more black shows, UPN continued to lose money. In 2003, UPN's comedy lineup consisted of The Parkers, Eve, Girlfriends, and Half on Monday nights, with One-on-One and All of Us airing back-to-back on Tuesdays. All of those shows averaged around 3 to 3.5 million viewers an episode. Their competition varied throughout the years. Girlfriends and Half aired opposite of Everybody Loves Raymond and 2.5 Men on CBS. For the 2003 to 2004 TV season, Raymond was the number 10 show on TV, getting just over 17 million viewers an episode compared to Girlfriends at 3.6 million, which ranked as the 128th show. That same year, One-on-One averaged 2.9 million viewers. Its competition, That 70s Show, averaged 10 million viewers.
Ooh,
the Bernie Mac.
Yeah. You going up against That 70s Show? Oh, yeah, you not. Yeah. You definitely losing that battle.
Show would often compete with UPN sitcoms as well, averaging 7.5 million viewers during the 2003 to 2004 season. Although UPN shows would most likely have been canceled if they aired on the major networks, they were able to survive being outside of the Big Four. In 2005, UPN scored its highest rated series in several years, Everybody Hates Chris. In its debut season, Everybody Hates Chris averaged 4.2 million viewers, becoming the highest rated comedy on UPN and the second highest rated show overall, only behind America's Next Top Model. Everybody Hates Chris premiered on UPN on September 22, 2005, and took no time in becoming an instant critical hit and a fan favorite. The American Film Institute selected Everybody Hates Chris as one of the best 10 television series of 2007, saying that the show provides a very real look at growing up in America, a challenge that demands a discussion of race and class often absent from television today.
Yep.
After its first season, the show won Outstanding Comedy Series at the NAACP Image Awards, and Tashina Arnold took home the award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series
As she should. As she should.
Unfortunately, the high ratings of Everybody Hates Chris wasn't enough to save the declining UPN network. In January of 2006, however, UPN and the WB announced they were officially shutting down, and a new...
Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know why UPN shut down, it's because the owner of UPN and the owner of Warner Brothers, they met at some business dinner for like all these big name corporations. It was like a dinner for all these big name corporations, and they and surprisingly, WB was in the same boat as UPN. You gotta remember, Fox, CBS, ABC, and NBC. Those are the big four. Those are the big four that's getting 10 to 20 million, 30 million viewers for a fucking day. Versus UPN and WB, which were the new guys on the block. As you can see, they was roughly getting 3 to 4 million views. So because of that, sales weren't good on either side. The WB was struggling just as bad as UPN was. And both the owners of both said networks came together and was like, yo, let's do a form. Let's just merge together and just make the CW. And that's what ended up happening. And if you don't know the CW, if you don't know, also around this time, this is when Viacom and CBS ended their merger. So their merger was over with. Viacom went their own way, but remember, UPN was with Viacom at first. They didn't want UPN because they was losing too much money off of it, so they threw it at CBS and said, "Here, y'all do something with it." And CBS was like, "The fuck we gonna do with this?" And that's why Everybody Hates Chris is a CBS show and not a UPN or WB show. It's a CBS show because all the shows that was on UPN pretty much became CBS's property, and CBS doesn't want anything to do with UPN at all. So I wish that somebody could buy UPN's intellectual property and try to revive it and at least try to get the shows back on television, or at least the reruns of shows back on television. I know Bounce TV is slowly doing that. Yes, I do know that Bounce TV, this new generation's UPN, which don't hit the same. It feel like a Tyler Perry television. It feel like a Tyler Perry television show, but television network. But realistically, Bounce just don't hit like UPN used to. UPN was just you had to be there to understand. We had WWE on UPN. You don't have WWE on Bounce, okay? There's still SmackDown on fucking Bounce. You know what I'm saying? There's no local sports teams playing there's no local sports teams playing on Bounce. They don't broadcast local sports teams like UPN did. At least in my state, they used to broadcast Milwaukee Bucks games and Brewers games. And if the Packers had a Monday Night Football game, UPN would broadcast those. Dead ass. So we don't even get them no more. So that's why I say UPN just hit different, bro. Y'all can sit up here and say, yeah, well, we got Bounce TV now. Bounce TV don't hit like UPN did. You had to be there to understand the significance of why UPN was him, bro. Y'all had to understand that. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. The Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers television network president and the UPN television network president, they met up at a dinner party where all the big corporations were. They said, fuck it, you trying to merge, bro? Yeah, let's merge, bro. I'm tired of this shit. We ain't making no money. It was like, cool. We gonna figure it out, though. And they figured it out. And for those of y'all don't know what the CW stands for, it stands for CBS and Warner Brothers. So CBS and Warner Brothers merged to make the CW to get rid of the UPN and WB. So yeah, there you go.
Broadcast network that would operate as a joint partnership between the two would form, called the CW. The move came as a result of both networks losing money. It was announced that only 6 UPN shows would make the transition to the CW. Veronica Mars, Everybody Hates Chris, Girlfriends, America's Next Top Model, All of Us, and WWE SmackDown. Ratings for those shows decreased even further when the network switch became official. Everybody Hates Chris lost over 1.5 million viewers when the second season debuted on the CW, and Girlfriends lost nearly 1 million viewers.
Because everybody wasn't fucking with it.
The transition from the UPN network to the CW. By 2008, the CW had been on air for 2 years, and Everybody Hates Chris was the last scripted show from UPN still standing. The show was paired with The Game, a spinoff of Girlfriends that made its debut on the CW in fall of 2006. Now, it's been nearly 15 years since the CW launched, and none of its programming reflects a diverse audience like UPN and the WB did in the late 90s and early 2000s. Supernatural.
Yeah, this is why nobody was fucking with the CW, because there weren't any black shows. We were expecting to still get UPN. We were still expecting to get that black experience. Everybody Hate Chris is cool. It's still a funny ass show. It's very entertaining. But then you had, and then Girlfriends pretty much got booted out. They brought The Game in. That was pretty okay for the women. I'll say I never got into the Game. That was not a show for me. I don't even watch that show to this day. It's not a show for me at all. But yeah, and then we were expecting more. We wanted more, but then they canceled Girlfriends. And I think that's really what triggered everything. That's what triggered everything, y'all. When Girlfriends got canceled, women lost their motherfucking mind. Y'all have to remember, nobody was trying to watch Supernatural and all this white boy, white girl shit. Veronica Mars, which was a UPN show, and it did hit. It just wasn't hitting. You have to understand the black excellence that UPN was exerting. That's what we were there for. We were there for the black experience. We weren't there for this bullshit. We weren't here for it. Even if this shit was good. We don't care. We want to see black sitcom. We want to see black shows. We want to see black excellence on television. We want shows that relate to us. We don't want to watch these white people shows. And they didn't care. They was like, yo, because you got to understand, WB and UPN did not make profits with black sitcoms. They just didn't. So they had to go down this route just to make the money. And the sad part about it today is the CW still doesn't make profits. That's the crazy part. The CW still don't make good profits. Even with them having all the DC characters on their shows, they still don't make profits. And mainly that's because everything is on streaming sites now. Everything is on the internet. Who the fuck is watching television? So realistically, they still fuck themselves over at the end of the day. Because not only did you eliminate your black audience, you basically the internet with the easier access to the internet now, you lost everybody. You were trying to cater to a wider audience, and they just relocated to the fucking internet to watch your shows on streaming sites and streaming devices instead of just tuning in every fucking week to see the new episodes. Like, nah, I will binge watch it. Like, people will literally, I'm one of them people too. I'll probably watch the first 5 episodes when they come out and probably never watch and then watch the rest of the season like 4 months after the fact on some binge watch shit. Like, y'all don't like they fucked themselves over, and all they had to do, and if they would have stuck with the black experience, keeping up with us, keep making shows for us to keep coming back, it would have helped, but they didn't want to do that. And that's why CW was still in the same position it was in when they first merged. That's sad, bro. That's fucking sad. CW, you did it to yourself.
Is the only series left from either network, and most of its show is rooted in the DC superhero universe, catering towards white teens. In a 2019 interview with Shadow and Act, star of Half and Half, Essence Atkins, would further explain why many of UPN's black sitcoms came to an end when the CW was created. When you're the number 1, number 2 show on a network, and then the network just dissolves and gets bought out and becomes something else, it's not the first time that a network has built their wealth on black content and then slowly but surely goes through a gentrification process.
Yep.
We, as black audiences, we are incredibly loyal. We have a lot of buying power, and so markets capitalize on that. What seemed to be the pattern was that they would get their hit white show, and then they would slowly but surely eradicate the directives.
Yup.
That leaves a big deficit in terms of us being able to see our own stories, believing in your own story, and amassing an audience to the point where you become undeniable.
Yup.
For the Harlem Renaissance.
Yup. That's really what it was, though. Like I said, they were trying to find their white show, and it didn't stick. They had a chance with Malcolm in the Middle. They turned that down. They had a chance with American Idol. Turn that down. You got it right with America's Next Top Model. That's the only one they got right. Then at the very tail end, you have Veronica Mars. But at that point, you're getting ready to move on. Then, so basically, let me put it to y'all like this. Even if UPN didn't do the merger with Warner Brothers to create the CW, there would have been a strong chance that Veronica Mars would have eliminated at least two to 3 shows right off the bat. Everybody Hate Chris would have been good. Girlfriends would have been good. One-on-one been gone. One-on-one was gone before the merger. Well, not. One-on-one probably would have stuck around as well. Half and Half would have been gone. All of Us would have been gone. Cuts was definitely gone. That show was fucking terrible. Yeah, they would have eliminated at least 2 shows with Veronica Mars. And then they would have probably propped up Everybody Hates Chris and Veronica Mars, putting them on the same day with each other, making sure that they don't have to compete with anybody. So basically, UPN would have figured a way out to do that. So that way they can get at least 5 to 6 million viewers a week off them two shows, and then put their other shows on the back burner. And then if they would have hit with another, and then probably would have tried to buy out another fucking show from another network, try to buy another show out, it would have because remember, there was a lot of shows that got canceled around 2006, boy. Bernie Mac show got canceled 2006. My Wife and Kids got canceled 2006. They probably would have picked them two shows up, brought them over there, tried to see what their numbers would have did on UPN, and probably would have did that. And then another white show probably would have hit. And then the next thing you know, 101 is gone. 101 is gone. Girlfriends is definitely the fuck up out of here. So now all you got left is Everybody Hates Chris, Bernie Mac show, and probably My Wife and Kids. Then after that, you keep these shows around, you end them off. I'm pretty sure they all get their conclusions. I'm pretty sure they all get their conclusions with just 2 seasons. They probably get 2 seasons with their conclusions. And then you bump them off, and then you start making spin-offs of Veronica Mars. Then you start making a spin-off of the other white shows, and then all you got left is Everybody Hates Chris. And then just like that, the UPN looks like what the CW is now. I guarantee you the same thing would have happened. So it really didn't matter at this point in time. It was just a matter of time. It was just going to be a matter of time for UPN sold their soul. For the white Caucasian gentrification audience.
The end began with the market crash of 1929 and the Great Depression. By the mid-1930s, many pivotal Harlem residents had moved on to seek work elsewhere. As both the Harlem Renaissance and UPN are memories of the past, their impact and influence are unquestioned. Just as the Harlem Renaissance served as a reawakening of black entertainment and art, so was UPN.
Yeah.
UPN came at a time where networks were overlooking black sitcoms and the black audience.
Yep.
UPN broke that mold. When the network ended, there was a huge void in black primetime sitcoms, a void that just recently been filled with shows like Blackish, Atlanta, and Insecure. But we still have yet to recapture the essence and representation of what an all-black lineup provided.
Yep. And we'll never get that shit again, sadly. Hold on. Go back. What the fuck? But yeah.
Throughout history.
But yeah, man, that's basically about it. We done went a whole fucking hour. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to do it. I just had to go on this fucking rant, bro. Because, bro, y'all just don't understand what UPN really was, bro. Just imagine a network with brand new entertaining episodes of shows that are just so fucking good. And they're black and it's black content. Imagine that for a TV network. Imagine that. We don't get that anymore. Y'all just had to be there to understand UPN's presence on what this represented is it's bigger than anything. It's bigger than anything, bro. Like its impact on the black community is instrumental. Yeah, some people gonna sit up here and make fun of it. Oh, it's the nigger channel. UPN is the nigger channel. That's what they gonna say, but it's alright though. It can be the nigger channel. But it was the greatest, it's the greatest black excellence I've ever seen. So yeah, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. If you was around when UPN was in its prime, what was your favorite memories besides WWE, of course? Don't bring no WWE moments up. I'm talking about the black sitcoms. What was it like for you, man? Did you enjoy the black sitcoms? Was it for you? You know what I'm saying? But if you was just there for the WWE, then we not talking to you right now. Even though I was there for the WWE too, but still. And also not the Saturday morning cartoons as well. We not there for the cartoons. We not there for Fox Kids, Fox Box, or 4Kids. We not here for WWE SmackDown. We are just talking about the black sitcoms. We talk about the UPN sitcoms. Moesha, 101, The Parkers, Everybody Hates Chris, all those shows. What was that experience like for y'all? Tell me in the comment section below. I'll get back to you till then. Peace out.